All right, welcome everybody. Today we're doing something special, something that I have not done before. I'm very excited to do this. I've seen other people do videos like this. I'm doing this for the things that I grew up with. So I'm going to start off things today while doing a tier list of Disney films. Two things I want to put out of the way before we start. I added a never watched because there's some of these that I did not grow up with because they were before my time. I am going to do my best to explain why they're there. And if I haven't watched something, clearly we have a never watched thing right here. And one thing too, there's Star Wars. I noticed that they added Star Wars and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't know what to do with these because I feel like there should be at least have their own movies in the list instead of just having the whole thing. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about those. I'm probably gonna beat those till the end. Probably put them at the bottom here. That's the only rearranging you're probably gonna see is these are gonna be at the very bottom because I don't know what to do with these yet. And most of these I have grown up with, and some of these I have not, like Robin Hood and Rescuer. So I don't know if I want to start real quickly by saying, or not saying, but like by putting movies that I've never watched directly into the never watched, and then we'll have a S, A, B, C. So it'll be like God tier is S, good. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe that's what I'll name these two is God tier. Good. If I can spell good right. Good. Average. Meh. And never watched. Okay. I feel like that's perfectly fine. And hey, these are my opinions on these movies and the movies that I've watched. I'm going to go off based upon my childhood memory and not going to have too much nostalgia. Nostalgia's going to play a little bit of key, but I'm just going to start off by putting movies that I've never watched into the, well, of course, never watched. I'm going to probably edit this bit out. Okay, I think that's all of the movies that I've never watched. The Sword in the Stone, Pocahontas, Winnie the Pooh, and Oliver and Company are movies that I don't think I've ever watched at all. I've never watched Cinderella. I know the story of Cinderella, but I've never watched it. Uh, Never watched this. All right, I think that's yeah. I think we're just gonna go ahead and start with 101 Dalmatians. The original like 1960s cartoon, probably even earlier than that. It's not the worst. I mean, of course, the animation's dated, but in terms of story, like I don't know how much I'm going to go into this. I'm just going to go based upon like what I remember, what I think of how they rank against each other. Not too much. Not going to go into deep detail. There's a few other channels that do that. Feel free to go watch those. These are just my opinions and my thoughts. But 100 of All Dalmatians is basically a story of this person, Cruella de Vil, wants these 101 Dalmatians to make fur coats. Ends up kidnapping most of the Dalmatians, if I remember correctly. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Uh, and of course, the dogs escape at the end, and life is happily ever after. Basically, I don't have any fond memories of this movie. It's just, a timeless classic, as they call it. I mean, it's not bad, like meh bad, and it's not good either. I'm really thinking that it's average. It's a good Disney movie that you can sit down with your kids, not to think too much about it. It's a dog movie. A Bug's Life. Now, just to give a context of where I'm ranking these, I was born in 1998, preferably August 21st, but dates don't matter. Years do matter. 1998. So I grew up within the 2000s of the Disney Pixar. And A Bug's Life to me was I can remember Bug's Life being my favorite because at the beginning of A Bug's Life you had that animated short with I think it was called Gerald's Game, where it was like a chess game, and he was basically going up against himself. But anyways, getting to the actual movie itself, we have this bug named Flick. He's working in an ant colony, working for the queen as ants do, and he gets to go adventure outside the colony. Joins up with I think a circus gang, and then ends up being there. He ends up finding his new family through them, and there's a whole story where Flick. They thought Flick was like this great outsider, and he was doing all crazy sorts of good things, and they're like, you're just like he breaks it to him that he's just a bug. He's just be basically a nobody, and they shot him out and realize that he's something more. But A Bug's Life is a good Pixar movie, very good. And of course, the animation is still meh at times. But you got like Kevin Spacey as the villain. Let's let me look up real quick who's been in this. Yeah, the Grasshoppers played a pretty big role. Flick, and these are the Circus. And of course, ants. I think this was Pixar's thing against ants from DreamWorks at the time. So he actually no, yeah, that was the whole story. Was that he wanted to save the colony from these grasshoppers, and he's seen these acrobatic special bugs, and he thought he could save their colony, and they actually do end up saving them. Now Aladdin. Where do we start off with Aladdin? Robin Williams' greatest voice acting performance, I think. I know Aladdin, basically great story of a street rat is really what he's named or at least brought up as. Uh, falls in love with this princess, and he wants to become royalty. He wants to impress her. He finds this genie. And he thinks this genie will grant him a bunch of power or a lot of money, a lot of wealth, and he'll become this likable prince. But then deep down, after he acts the way he does, and the choices he makes, realizing that he's no better than the Soul Sultan or this guy or the next. That's he becomes a selfish and full of self character that once he's not, or once he found out, once the princess finds out that Jasmine finds out that he's not his royal highness or whatnot, she is like, well, it's you took guts, doing what you did. And after she sees him for the way that he is, a street rat, a bum that she can actually get behind. And then, of course, at the end, he wishes that the genie would be free from his from his burden, which is to be magic. And you know what? I am gonna say Aladdin is a good movie. You had Jafar as a decent villain. You had the parrot. You had the Soul Sultan. You have Jasmine. You have Robin Williams. Alice in Wonderland. I don't know where to put this between meh and never watch, because Alice in Wonderland is a movie where a girl falls into a hole. I don't know pretty much more about that, but she falls into this hole. She goes to a different land, and it's all run by everyday like bunny rabbits and this that. To be honest, I don't know that much about Alice in Wonderland. I'm going to say that very much right now. And I'm gonna go with meh because I do know some of the story elements. I don't know that. Do I want to? I'm gonna put a never watch. I'm just gonna clearly say I've never fully watched Alice in Wonderland. I know some plot points, like I'm running very late for a very important date, and you got the mysterious cat that likes to disappear. I don't even know his name, so it's clear to say that I've never watched Alice in Wonderland and the Aristocats as well. I just never watched. Now here's Atlantis. Atlantis, where is it? Where is it? Atlantis, and is it even on this list? Treasure Planet. Atlantis and Treasure Planet are like the golden egg slash undiscovered gems of of this Disney's animation, which should have been dived in and dove in a lot more. Atlantis was a story, of course, the deep underwater city of Atlantis that had Michael J. Fox as the lead role. Had a basically the story went that this archaeologist, voiced by Michael J. Fox, the main role was he wanted to go and find the lost city of Atlantis, find the treasures, declare that it existed, and the art style too was really amazing. Haven't really watched it recently though. I did watch Treasure Planet recently, so I had to have a fair bit to say about that. But the characters, the story, I'm gonna say it's because a lot of people put this like as one of the better Atlantis or better Disney films from like the early 2000s. I'm gonna say because I'm really going between God tier and good. I'm gonna put a God tier. It really. I'm gonna say screw it. It's gonna go into the God tier. Just the full just the animation, the story, the character's development. It's. Am I recording? Yeah, but oh man, Treasure Planet. The Treasure Planet tells a story of a kid who didn't really necessarily grow up. I don't know because they never really show his father, so I can't say he didn't grow up with one. It mainly showed his mother. It was mainly him and his mother. His mother used to tell stories about pirates, and there was like this lost city of gold or a lost planet of gold. I think it was a planet. Probably better named Treasure Planet. But you see him working at this pub or this bar or this like inn. I think it's an inn. I think it's an inn. And he finds this shipwrecked pirate, and he's like, "You got to protect me, map." And he ends up getting a hold of this map, and then next thing you know, he's going on this treasure ship because that map led to Treasure Planet, and he believes it could be worth something good. And then you have this character. Oh God, what's the character's name? I'm gonna look up real quick. Treasure. The villain is so good. I think it's Johnny Silver or something like that. Treasure Planet villain. Yeah, John. Yeah, John Silver. The fact that he starts off as a villain. I mean, this guy's just straight evil. Scroop. But this guy, he's like, yeah, I want the treasure all for myself. I don't care about anybody. Where to act like he was the chef. He was the chef for the main for like the good guys, and he ended up being like a villain, and he ended up actually liking the main character, which I can't remember his name. Like, oh, the hardship they go through each other. Like John Silver sees the main character as like his lost, or he sees him as a son, and the main character sees John Silver as like his father, and they go through like this whole kinship of like, I want to do good, but I'm still a greedy pirate at heart. And I think much like Treasure Planet, like much like Atlantis, the art style of Treasure Planet is just beyond anything I've seen Disney or Disney do in a very long time. This was a Disney movie, not a Pixar. This had nothing to do with Pixar. But this is just, it's God tier. It's really good. Bambi, of course, we all know the story of Bambi. A young doe. That's what you call baby deer. I believe is a doe. He ends up, just living their lives. The mother and the baby deer are living their lives. And just doing normal deer things. And his mother ends up getting shot. Of course, ruining most people's at the time young children's uh, dramatizing them. And then he grows up to like be loved by like a skunk and a rabbit named Thumper. It it's this whole thing about like even though those around you may be gone, that you can still find friends and meaning in life that can keep you going forward. So Bambi, and plus most like Bambi and 101 Dalmatians, like all these movies are here. Like I wasn't around to watch them. Like with Bambi, I had some people show me what Bambi was. I don't want to say Bambi is a good movie. You and that's what Disney does good is tell a story is as much traumatic as they want it to be or can be. It can be pretty good and a very heartwarming story. The next thing we got here is Beauty and the Beast. Let's talk about Beauty and the Beast for a second. So Beauty and the Beast is a story about this librarian. I think Belle. She is a librarian in this almost run down village, and she loves nothing but her books. I can't remember how does she get. Let me find Beauty. Let me just refresh my memory real quick. Beauty and the Beast. I just want to get a quick rundown. I just want to find a synopsis. Yeah. So the Beast is actually like is basically what it says here is he's an arrogant young prince. His castle servant fall under spell of a wicked enchantress who turns him into a hideous beast until he learns to love and be loved in return. Like there's that like this right here is a good story. An arrogant young prince turns and his castle servants fall under a spell for a wicked enchantress. Enchantress? And turns into an hideous beast until he is learns to love and be loved in return. So this is all the spirited underground village girl Belle enters the beast castle after imprisoning her father. Okay, yeah. Basically, you can read it. It's this story alone is perfect because it tells people that hey, you may be a horrible person, you may do this and you may do that, and some people may shun on you, and you need to learn to like love others and give respect, and then others can love you and give respect. It's like that. It's basically a story of saying that no matter how you look, people are going to love you for who you are, and that for people to love you and for you to love yourself, you need to give it. If you want respect, give it. And I'm saying it's an average Disney movie. Some people would say, "Oh, it's amazing" or "It's good." I'm like, that's average. Big Hero 6. I have a funny story about Big Hero 6. I was going to go see it in theaters that weekend it came out, but we ended up having like a storm or something on a school day, and school was actually like canceled, but you can go in if you wanted to, or just roam the halls. You could basically just be at school if you wanted to, right? And I found some of my friends are just. I'm really excited to get to this. Sorry, but I found some of my friends that were just sitting there watching something on their tablet or their phone or whatever it was, and we're like, "Yeah, we're just watching Big Hero 6," and it just came out, and I've always I wanted to watch it, and I just didn't have a chance to at the time. I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna sit down and watch it, and it's a story really like I cried. Like if you know this part of the story where the main character's brother goes away for a long time. I see my mic speaking, so let me fix that. There we go. But when Kadashi gets blown up, like Hero, like this guy's right here, his name is Hero, and this is Baymax. Baymax is probably one of the greatest additions to the Disney animated thing they've ever done. But it's just like it's such a good story of like revenge and thinking what happened to somebody, and you want to do good, but you know it wasn't your fault, and the thing you want to do to bring them back is going to cause more pain and destruction, and it's just like this long-lasting memory of a of your brother or your friend lives on forever based upon what they did and what they did for you and what they do for you, and it's basically this plot of like never giving up, don't give up on others, revenge is never the option. It's just it's such a good movie, and just like the twist villain of Callahan, the fate, like the one person hero looked up to, because because this whole movie it's like this big tech. Hero had Hero Tadashi or not Tadashi and Hero had like this big plans for these robots that would shape to whoever you wanted it to be, do whatever you wanted them to do, and if they were indestructible. You could walk upside down, you could walk on walls, you could make a suit, you could build things in a day, you could make things out of something in a day. And it was just like big corporate, I want this because it'll bring somebody back, because I want them to build this so it can bring me something back. But then there's a whole thing of like revenge is not worth it, and this whole finding things and stuff people did in the past for you to hang on to because they know they still love you even when they're gone. And I'm saying it's a god tier movie. Big Hero 6 is really, really good. What is this? The Black Coal Cauldron? Never watched it. Bolt. Bolt is meh. And here's why I think Bolt is a meh movie. Because I grew up with Bolt. I grew up watching Bolt probably when I was about 12 or 13 years old. I was kind of getting out the whole Disney phase. I'm still into Disney phase. But I'm not like, oh my god, I gotta watch this. If I see it on Disney Plus, I'll sit down, I'll watch it, I'll think about it. But Bolt, growing up, was probably one of my favorite movies, and rewatching it recently to do this list, it left a sour taste. Like, it's nothing but like people hating on cats. It's a dog who's like an action star in his own show, but he realizes that he's just a dog, that nothing he does is really real, and that he wants it to be real, but he comes to a hard realization that most of what he's been doing has just been nothing, and that he's just an average dog when he thinks he's something more. But then a fire breaks out, or he ends up going. Sorry, getting like firehead myself, but he ends up like leaving and trying to find himself, and becomes friends with a gerbil and a cat that tries to teach him that, hey, no matter who you are, you're something special to everybody, especially to the main character. I think it's like some kind of a girl, but at the end of the movie, my favorite bit is at the end of the movie. Yeah, figured something favors the end. The movie studio catches on fire, I believe, and she's caught at the center of it all. And he's like, what? I can still be a hero, even though I used to be a hero and nothing, like, if it wasn't real, but even though this world is real, and that I am who I am, and I could still be a hero and save her, and still be a very important special dog. It's still good, but it's meh. Bolt, I don't know. I have to rewatch it to make a clear sense of Sonic, because most of these I'm going off of like childhood memories and what I've watched, or try to remember fondly of what they were. Brave, God, Brave is horrible. Brave, it's such a bad movie, and I'll tell you why. There's there's not enough time for me to go into why Brave is so bad. I I don't even want to cover it. I don't even want to say anything about it. I'm just this God. Brave. There's a scene where Brave is basically is Merida, and she doesn't want to be a princess. She wants to be her own person, and she's tired of her mother who wants her to be a queen. And you must do all this royalty stuff. But Merida doesn't want to do it. She wants to be her own person. She wants to do horseback riding. Basically, almost wants to be a tomboy and wants to do whatever she wants. But then she gets frustrated, goes see a witch, which people are believing may or not be Boo from the near distant future, because there's a silly cutout of wood. But she wishes for a spell or something to turn her mother into something else, like she doesn't want this life. And then she turns her mother into a bear, and then her mother, even though her mother is quote unquote gone, now Merida is now the next queen, and her mother as a bear is trying to teach her how to be a proper queen, and her mother gets to see what it's like to be out in the wild, like Merida wants to be. Like it's a whole point of view shift that I think it does well, but there's so many aspects of the movie that's not even done right. Like there's a scene where her brothers get turned into bear because they're wild animals, and they look at their nanny's breast and they jump in. They're wild animals. They do whatever they want, and they just seek after in the world. And one of their thoughts is to jump into the bosoms of a woman. I don't know what's the point of that. I don't know. I'm basically going off of memory. I'm done talking about it. I don't want to talk about that. It's just got it. I should probably just no. I've already gone too far, and I've never watched these. I can't say I never watched it, but I'm just like it's meh. Like I would have to make a whole other. Oh, that's what that does. Oh, that's what that does. Oh, 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 oh no. What have I done? Okay, but no, I've. Mm, it's such a bad movie. Talk about another movie. Sorry, just talking about another movie that is really great is Brother Bear, which deals with the same aspect of turning somebody into a bear. Brother Bear is one of my favorite childhood movies, and I'm not going to let nostalgia get the best of me, but it's really a good movie. It's a story about, you know, I don't want to say indigenous, but it's Alaskan, and they're doing their thing. So they live out in Alaska or out in the snow, out in the mountains, snowy mountains, and he ends up killing the bear because it's what they do. They want the fur coat for the winter, this, that, and the other. And this bear, or the bear he kills, ends up being somebody important as we would learn into the story. But when the Northern Lights happens, when he does it, he gets turned into a bear. And now he has to live out his life as a bear. He can talk to animals. He understands animals. I believe there's like 2 Canadian mooses in it, which is a bad stereotype because I'm Canadian and I don't like it, but it is what it is. But he befriends this bear named Coco. The main character's name is Kenai, played by Joaquin Phoenix, which blew my mind because I didn't know Joaquin Phoenix played I'm sorry, I'm having horrible names. Kenai. I didn't know Joaquin Phoenix played Kenai until I watched The Joker, because I looked up what other movies he done. I was like, oh shit, he's in Brother Bear. But then, anyways, get back to the story. Kenai now is a bear. He basically learns what having. I don't know what he learns. It's just he lives his days as a bear. He finds Coda. Coda's like, oh yeah, life's not that bad as a bear. And it was like, because it's like this Alaskan like tribal like whole thing is like you'll be resurrected as an animal thing, right? So he gets resurrected as a bear. But anyways, Coda is like, life isn't that bad as a bear. I'll show you my family, what we do. I'll teach you how to catch fish. I'll teach you how to do this and that. So they do go about their ways, and there's like the one problem I have with this movie is a whole lot of God, what's his name? God, I can't remember. So tell everybody I'm on my way. Phil, yeah, it's just, yeah, on my way. By Phil Collins. There's a whole lot of Phil Collins songs in here, and it's like, why? You know? And maybe get a quick plot synopsis of Brother Bear, because I don't think I did that justice. So I want to get a Brother Bear. Because I remember the movie pretty good. But Kenai is a young Indian brave, yeah, with a particular distaste for, yeah, he hates bears. So he still, like, he hunts bears, he hates them. Uh, and his brother got killed, yeah. His brother was killed by one of them. Kenai's then turned into a bear, only to be magically transformed into one himself. No matter worse, he's. Oh yeah, so sorry, I just had a notification pop up. But no, Kenai is a young Indian brave with a particular distaste for bears. When his brother is killed by one, Kenai kills the bear, only to be magically transformed into one himself. To make matters worse, his other brother, Dana, vows to kill the bear Kenai has become. Kenai's only hope is to magically maintain is a magical mountain where he believes he can be changed back into a human, and he lists a real bear cub, Coco, to get him there. But now the bear that Kenai kills is Koda's mother, and there's the only good bit is when Kenai has to tell Koda that, hey, I killed your mom. And then the whole dynamic between Koda and Kenai that you weren't for probably 45 minutes of the movie just gets shattered. And they stay together, but they don't talk to each other. They just don't acknowledge each other. It's like, fuck you, you killed my mom. And it's such a. There's a whole lot more I can go into. I can make a whole video on this movie. But at the end, he does get turned back into a human. I believe. I can remember the ending, but I think he gets turned back into a human because there was a Brother Bear 2 where a girl got transformed into a bear, but I think he was still a bear. So I don't know. I can't remember the ending of this movie, but it was still a god tier of a movie, saying that, hey, I don't know what the whole thing was. What do you call it? Um, They're right. I'm just not going to go to it. Let's go on to the next one. Cars. Cars tells the story of Lightning McQueen, a young racer who wants to make it hot in Radiator Springs to be the next best race car there is. He, God, there's a whole lot of these I gotta get a synopsis of, because I really don't remember them as much as I like to say I do. Let's look at car synopsis. No, not cats. Cars. Oh, Cars 4. Oh my god. Yeah. While traveling to California to race against the King and Chick Hicks for the Piston Cup. Yeah, so he's basically a young race car that wants to become. God, what did I even say? Becomes wise after falling off it. Oh, yeah, so it's basically a young car wants to be the next best racer, but he ends up getting lost. Sorry. Falling off his trailer and have run down a town called Radiator Springs. So yeah, he was on He was on his way to become like this next best. He wanted to become the next best racer. He ends up getting lost to be only be found in Radiator Springs. While there, he spoke with friends of young fellows of town's odd residents, including Sally, Doc Hudson, Paul Newman, and Mater. When it comes time for him to leave, yeah, it's Cars. I can't really say much about. It's meh. I never really watched it. To be honest, if I did, it was very, very young. Chicken Little. Oh my god, I can go on for hours. Chicken Little tells the story of this young chicken who he's like picked on. He's basically not the most favorite person or chicken in town, I guess you could say. Only has his circle of friends that care and appreciate about him. But then one morning, a piece of the sky falls out, so he keeps saying, "The sky is falling, the sky is falling." So if you didn't know, that's where that's from. That's where that's from. But he keeps saying like the sky is falling, the sky is falling, and he's like, "What are you going on about?" And when they see it's like these aliens that they the sky, like they cloak their ships to be part of like the blue sky, so then nobody sees what's going on. And he's like, his father's like, "You're crazy, you're Chicken Little, you're crazy, you don't know what's going on." And Chicken Little rings a bell to warn the people that the sky is falling, that the aliens are coming, and the townspeople are like, "You know what? You've done this so many times that we don't believe you. It's basically the boy who cried wolf. We don't believe you anymore." But Chicken Little knows what's true, and he tells his friends, and his friends are like, "Okay, yeah, we believe you, you know." And his father thinks that he's like a nutcase, and you know, he wants his son to be reasonable and say, "Hey, you know, the sky's not falling. You're a kid. You're hyperactive." But then there's actually other aliens, and they just stop the aliens from invading. And there's a whole crazy ensue of like antics go on. And there's one character that I remember from the movie that reminded me of like a smartphone. This guy, looking like a Apple iPhone. Uh, Camera. But let me see. Let me get the Chicken Little synopsis out. Young Chicken Little Zach Braff throws a small town into a panic by claiming the sky is falling and able to find a piece of the sky that hit him, earns the town's scorn. Yeah, he's scorned by the town because he's crazy. He thinks the sky is falling. Uh, a year later, El Caswell tries to redeem himself by joining the baseball team, helping to win a crucial game. Later that night, he's hit in the head again by discovers that the flying sky is actually from a UFO now. Little must now convince the skeptic town that the alien invasion is about to happen, and the alien invasion does happen. And of course, there's a whole chaotic scene, and the aliens can't come out. I think they look like oh god, they're like, I want to say creepy. They weren't the necessary best looking things. Yeah, they were this. Enough to give you nightmares, right? Yeah, these. And they're like acorn. They're acorn shaped aliens. I don't know, man. This movie was weird. Like, it was good, but it was weird. And there's like there's his friends right there where it's like there was a fish for like a head, like there was a fish, there was a duck, there was a pig called Runt, literally because he was the runt of the litter. But Chicken Little, I think it's a god tier movie. Personally, no, I think it's good. It's a good movie. The god tier is like movies that I find are one of Disney's best work, and Chicken Little's a good movie. It's a really good movie for you to sit down and watch with your kid. Coco is something I can actually dive into because I actually did watch Coco a year or two ago. And what Coco is a story about, this young. It's a Coco tells the story of this. Someone mowing their lawn. Never mind. Coco tells the story of. Oh God, what was the name? I forgot the name. The character's name. Miguel. Thank you. Yeah, Miguel. And he loves this music of he loves the music of this guy, of this famous musician, and he wants to be like this the greatest musician. And he finds out that music is his life, and he wants to pursue it. And he finds the guitar, strings the guitar, and he feels the power of music. And he grew up watching this singer or this guitarist, remember me. Like there's this whole song called "Remember Me." Just let me get the plot synopsis up quick. Coco plot. Despite his family's generations old ban of music, yeah, because his family hated music. His family hated music for a long time because it brought nothing but pain. Their father, or one of the main characters' mother or fathers left and then returned. He's, like I said, Miguel's dream of becoming an ambitious musician, like his idol, Ernesto de la Cruz. Despite to prove his talent, Miguel finds himself in a stunning and colorful land of the dead. After meeting a charming trickster named Hector, the two of the new friends embark on an extraordinary journey to unlock his real story behind Miguel's family history. And I'm going to say Miguel's family history throughout the whole story is amazing because you get to learn that, hey, his family does love music. They love what they do. They want him to be like a shoe. They actually, before Miguel does go into the land of the dead, his family wants him to become like a shoe repairer, a shoe shiner. And Miguel's like, no, I want to do music, but music's banned. If I catch you doing music, you're not going to like it, kid. But Hector is actually Miguel's lost, like Miguel's family, like the main characters that, like when you get to the Land of the Dead, Miguel's family is basically the main characters in the Land of the Dead story there. And it comes around to like, hey, there was a story or the songs, the main villain was actually Dela Cruz was actually the main villain, and that he wanted to take his grandfather's music for himself, so he killed him and did a whole thing where he became the most famous musician because of his grandfather's song. But Miguel's grandfather, that Dela Cruz became famous because of Miguel's grandfather's music. And Miguel's like, you know what? You're not the idol that I grew up to love. You're nothing but a crook. These are my family. They love music. They love me. They want to know that I can do whatever I want. I can be a musician if I want to be. And you guys are my, like, it's, if you've seen it, you know what I'm trying to say. And it is a god tier movie. It is such, and the animation, it's so well done. So well done. We're almost there. God, Good Dinosaur. It is not even. I don't even consider the Good Dinosaur a movie. It's just a 3D spectacle about. It's just dinosaurs. I don't even know if there's even a plot synopsis about dinosaurs. I mean, what do you know about dinosaurs? The planet is going to go extinct. You had the story of Ad where he's a. I don't even know how to pronounce it. He's a dinosaur raised by his family lemurs. The world is turned upside down. However, when meteors strike, turning their green world into a desert wasteland, teaming up with a herd of other herbivores to trek on to find a nesting ground where the where the water and vegetation bountiful, but with carnivores behind them is nothing but a desert around miles. It doesn't like this movie. The animation at the time was great. The story, however, I did not personally like. It was boring for me. I think they showed it once or twice in school, and I just didn't have interest. Like you would have like those movie days, and it to me it was just a 3D spectacle for dinosaurs. And to be honest, if there was anything lower than that, I would say it was pretty garbage. I just personally I didn't like it. Dumbo, I never watched. To be honest, I've never watched Dumbo, so I can't say much about it. I know he's a big elephant with ears. I honestly I don't know very much about Dumbo. The Emperor's New Groove. Let's talk about this fantastic movie. Originally, it was called Kingdom of the Sun, I believe, but it had some development issues, and it later became The Emperor's New Groove, which tells the story of a young, arrogant prince. Uh, he's bossy. He tells people what to do. He doesn't want to do anything for himself. There's literally a scene. I don't know if I don't know when I want to play it, but I could find a through off my groove. I think I could play this. Actually, no, I'm not going to because I don't want to copyright it. I want to find it though. Like, there's literally like it threw off my groove. And it's literally like this old man. He's just going by. He's like Cusco's just going around doing this thing. He's doing this dance. He's like, "You threw up my groove." And the guy in the one of the guards come by. He's like, "I'm terribly sorry, but you have disrupted the Emperor's groove." And he gets thrown out, as you can see right here. And he's like, "Sorry," and gets fucking thrown. But no, Cusco's like this prince. He's arrogant. He's full of himself. He thinks he's higher than everybody. But then he has this idea of overthrowing this part of the land, which John Goodman's character is a part of. He's like, "Hey, you can't take over my land. These are our people. We've had this land for 100 years or 50 years before. Like there were like these were our ancestors' grounds. So you can't come and take them." But it's like, but I am the prince, and what goes must go. And then later on, Yzma sees and then there's this character. I don't know if you can see her in the background. Her name's Yzma, and there's Kronk. There's I can't remember his name, but there's Cusco who gets turned into a woman by Yzma so she can take care of Cusco, get him out of the kingdom so she can do a better job. And let me tell you, Kronk is probably one of the best dude characters Disney's ever made. You probably know the meme. I'll get it up right here real quick. Because I think it's only like a quick 15 seconds. Images. I don't want to get a video because I don't want to get copyrighted. Yeah, literally this right here. Pull the lever, Kronk. Wrong weather. It's like, why do we even have that weather? But no, this like the Emperor's New Groove is nothing but like if you put up like EMPERORS, like this movie's full of memes. Like this meme right here, and this one. We're totally going over the waterfall. It's gonna be sharp. Yep, most likely. Bring it on. And there's like the whole like this meme of course is good. Kronk's a good meme. Yzma's a good meme. Like, this whole movie is so good and it's like storytelling. Like I want to get synopsis real quick so I can actually because I know this movie, but I'm like going off on a tangent and I don't want to. Yeah, the sequel to The Emperor's New Groove is former Meteor Kronk Patrick. Oh no, I don't want Kronk's New Groove. I want Emperor's New Groove. I don't want Kronk's New Groove. We'll talk about that a whole different day. But no, Air King, yeah. Cusco transformed into a llama by his powerful, hungry advisor. The devious diva Yzma, uh, stranded in the jungle. Cusco's only chances to get back home is to claim his high life rests with a good-hearted peasant named Paka. Together, they must return to Cusco to the throne before Yima trusts them down to finish them off. Like, I can go on forever about the Emperor's New Groove. It's such a god tier movie. Or god, that's not god. There, like the Emperor's New Groove is like if you know, you know. Like there's the whole like rabbit, like the skunk scene where like Cuckoos goes in with like the black leopard, and he's like, "Don't do it," and pops the balloon, and he's like, "Ha! You didn't do anything," and he goes and he covers his mouth because he yelled, and that's what wakes up all the leopards and chases them down. Just the whole bits of Kronk is probably one of the best. Kronk, I can go on forever about Kronk. This movie, go watch it. Please go watch it. Fantasia, it's meh or no, it's average. You know, it's great animation. Each song, if you're big into music, it's good. If you're not, you can still respect the animation and the little stories that each song tells. I can't remember each story. I remember there was one about the whales. There was another one about like a princess. There was one, of course, there's going to be one about princesses. Come on, it's Disney. I mean, and there's a whole wizard. Like, you can't tell me you didn't grow up with Disney and didn't see Fantasia and Mickey at least once or twice. Like, come on now. I don't know how long we'd be going. 51 minutes. Oh, 52. You know what? Upon me seeing how long I've been recording this, and we still have all these movies right here, I mean, it's going to take me forever. I was ready to do. I think I'm just going to leave it here. If you guys want to see me go about all the other Disney movies you see right here, if you guys think I should watch these or give them better thoughts, I will. I'll try to see. But if you guys think I should watch any of these down right here, and if you guys don't agree with what I've said in this part 1 of this video, it's fine. It's my opinions. It's what I remember. It's my childhood. Like Disney is like amongst others. It's my childhood. Like it's I can go on forever. But Disney, it's great. If you guys, like I said, if you guys think I should give these another chance, I will. But you guys want to see me dive into these, especially the Incredibles? It's such an important movie to me. Nemo, Home on the Range, meh, you know. To go down this, like Wally, Up, Tarzan, Toy Story. Toy Story 2 is on here. Moana. Well, not Moana. Mulan. Soul. Haven't watched that yet. But there's like so many others that I haven't like got to look at yet, and I want to. If you guys want to see a part 2 of this, please leave a like. Comment down below. You guys think your best family or best Disney movies are. Like I love every Disney movie. I love them all. To be honest, I really do. I think that like Chicken Little and Aladdin are god tier movies. I really do. Like I believe each Disney movie is good in their own right, but it's just my tier list. And if you guys, like I said, I'm gonna leave it there. If you guys want to see more, leave a part 2. Like part 2, you will like. Share this. Let me know what your guys' opinions are. Let me know what your list is, and I'll see you guys next time.